What is going on, Av Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about 3 secret, hidden, fat-burning systems that happen in your body when intermittent fasting. Now, I know that recently people have tried to dismiss all of the studies that show that intermittent fasting has inherent benefits to burning body fat over normal dieting or caloric restriction, as hormonal imbalances can be as important or even more important than simply calorie restriction. But I know you guys know about insulin and human growth hormone and all those things that help you burn fat when intermittent fasting, but these are the things that people rarely talk about, and I'm going to talk about them in this video. Stay tuned. So there's going to be 3 things and we're going to jump right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to make all the calorie restriction only people happy. And this is that intermittent fasting helps you reduce your calories. Now, before a lot of you, especially my viewers, say, hey, this is not nothing new. You're not talking about anything new. We know that. You smaller time window, you'll eat less. But it's not just that. It's not just creating a smaller time window to eat less. Biologically and psychologically, you start to actually not want to eat more. And that's pretty important, especially if you take into account that most of the people that gain weight based off of psychological reasons. They gain weight due to stress. They gain weight because they just want comfort. They gain weight because of so many different things, but it's just simply something in their minds that's keeping them compelled to eating. So this study here actually showed 2 groups of people, both obese. Both groups were obese. They put one group in an intermittent fasting protocol. They put the other group in a normal calorie restriction protocol. They sat them down and spoke to them about their cravings with food in the different time frames. So it was about a 3-week study, and they would notice that through the questionnaire, the intermittent fasting group craved food less than the normal calorie restriction group. Now, for the most cynic people out there that I'm sure are like, well, what if those intermittent fasting people were just pro-intermittent fasters and they just wanted to pretend like they didn't crave food, but they knew they were hungry. They knew they were hungry. Well, the scientists and the researchers that put this together took that into account. Not the fact that there's these pro-intermittent fasting hardcore groups that are just gonna praise intermittent fasting no matter what, because none of these groups were doing intermittent fasting anyways before they went into the study. It's just simply because people can lie. That's just a thing that people do. So what do? They showed them slides of food and tested their brain waves for food stimuli. There's waves in your brains that can actually tell someone if you are salivating for food or if you really want to eat. And what they did is that they sat them down every single week, and in conjunction to the questionnaires, they showed them the slides. And during the slides, the calorie restriction group did not change in terms of their craving to want to eat. However, the intermittent fasting group, by week 3, their cravings had nearly abolished. There were no more cravings. The stimuli was not being affected in their brain. This is not them lying anymore. This is just a machine testing their brain to find out if they truly want to eat or not. And I know this is a dagger in the heart of all those people that say, no, you're hungry. You're hungry. You're just tricking yourself. Oh, the truth is your body adjusts to the fact that you're not eating and then decides it doesn't really crave food that much. So then you must be saying to yourself, how is this a hidden fat burning system in your body? This is just you not wanting to eat. Yes, that's the point. Your fats are stored energy. Stored energy is stored calories. More calories come from foods the more you eat them. The less you want to eat them, the less you will eat them. Thus, the less energy you put in your body to be stored. Now, this is not to say, oh, wait, hold up. This means you don't want to eat more. This means you can't eat more. It's not to say that you can't eat more. You can eat more if you want, but you're now in a position where you're not obsessing over eating the food. You can simply just now make the decision free of any obsession of eating. And trust me, that will go a long way to helping you burn body fat. Now let's move on to the more systematic things that happen in your body. The healing of your gut microbiome. Now, if you don't know what your gut microbiome is, it is actually the most important cultivating location of cells. As a matter of fact, you have over 1 trillion cells in your microbiome. That's trillion with a T. Yes, wrap your head around that. You have over 1 trillion cells in your microbiome. Very active cells, and that area controls a lot of how you feel. You actually have more cells in your gut microbiome than you have in any other part of your body combined. That's kind of crazy. Now I have a video about intermittent fasting and autophagy, and autophagy is deep. It goes very, very deep. It even lends to actually helping you burn fat because it helps heal all the cells in your body, even the cells in your microbiome. And it shows that when you have a higher level of Firmicutes bacteria in your microbiome or microbiota, you actually can burn more fat effectively. Because if you have less of that, your body actually can store fat more. Your body tries to store fat more and go against your insulin. It can go against your insulin by doing things like shooting up your cortisol, which counteracts your insulin and can increase insulin resistance, which is what you don't want. And they even tested this in mice and saw that the mice that had a higher amount of Firmicutes bacteria were able to be leaner and burn their fat more effectively than the other mice that didn't have that or had lower amounts of it in their microbiome. So yes, it actually heals the cells in your stomach that then activate more body fat burning. And then we move on to the third and last secret system in your body that helps increase body fat burning whilst using intermittent fasting, and that's white adipose browning. Now, I talked about this before. I even have a video fully dedicated to a study that was released back in, I believe, September of 2017 that focused primarily on the white adipose browning study while using intermittent fasting. Now, in this study, they did every other day fasting, not alternate day fasting. Alternate day fasting can consist of calorie consumption on the day that you're actually fasting, thus not making it truly a fast. However, every other day fasting means that you are fasting every other day fully without consuming anything at all. And what they noticed was white adipose browning. And you're probably thinking to yourself, if you've never heard of this, what in the world is white adipose browning? Now I'm going to explain it to you, but before I explain it to you, I want to set the premise of how your body fat is stored in your body so you can understand the importance of white adipose browning. Now, fat gets stored in your body in two different ways. You get the white fat cells or brown fat cells. Now, the white fat cells are designed for storage. They're made to be stored in your body for safety reasons only. They're good to have because it can save your life in a pinch. I know a lot of you hate your body fat. Your body fat is not there to make you feel bad about yourself. It's actually there to protect you. Then you have the brown fat, and these are primed fat ready to be burned that are literally focused only on burning itself to provide you physical energy. And what is white adipose browning? White adipose browning is when your white fat actually morphs and transforms into the brown fat. And that's the fat that burns to provide you energy. And this study showed that intermittent fasting actually increased and promoted the white fat cells to turn into the brown fat cells, the burning fat cells. Now, they even did it in a very unethical way just to see if intermittent fasting was truly the catalyst for this. They actually transplanted the gut bacteria from a mice who wasn't doing intermittent fasting to the mice who were doing intermittent fasting, and he still was able to transition the white fat cells into the brown fat cells, or the beige. It turns brown or beige, which is white adipose browning or beiging, and that's what facilitates the fat burning. So yes, intermittent fasting actually makes your fat cells that want to store get prepped for burning. Thus, it makes it easier to burn that body fat. Guys, you have to understand that calorie restriction just does one thing. It makes you lose weight or it makes you gain weight. That's all it does. It is black and white. If you reduce your calories, you lose weight. If you increase your calories, you'll gain weight. If you eat at your maintenance, you'll stay the same weight. But intermittent fasting goes one level deeper and focuses on your body fat. I'd even talk about insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance. That's the stuff that you already know. These are further levels down below that show why fat burning is more effective when you do intermittent fasting. That is why it's more than the simple calorie restriction. And that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. And of course, guys, as always, I will see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!